The inevitable happened Friday night in the Motor City. Alex Ovechkin blasted away at the NHL record book. And when this goal was finally judged a power play strike, it left the grade 8 sitting where he belongs at number 1. He scores! Gray skies overhead as NBC Sports Washington presents Capitals hockey. Today, the New Jersey Devils darken the doorway in D.C., where the Caps have been fond of lighting them up on days in the district. It is so great to see you again. Along with Craig Laughlin, I'm Joe Beninati. 2 nights ago in Detroit, things weren't decided until very late in that game. And as the Thompson Creek window of opportunity will show, a record wasn't set until the last second.
And it's all about the Capitals captain on the power play, tape-to-tape passing, a good player rotation, and a new wrinkle with Carlson in front. They break down the wings PK and find Alexander Ovechkin wide open. In his 1,230th game, he strikes for his 275th power play goal, passing Dave Andreychuk and 400 games fewer for the NHL record. Congrats to the Capitals captain.
The big man was beaming with pride. The Capitals will be happy to see Evgeny Kuznetsov continue his hot shooting ways. In the last week, he's taken flight and set the pace for 2 victories. And he plans to down the Devils very soon. NBC Sports Washington. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs. Al Koken's your ringside reporter as we follow around the grade 8. Alex Ovechkin as the Caps and Devils square off in the second of 3 meetings this season. Mackenzie Blackwood gets his first look at the team in the red sweaters that occupies the top spot in the Metro. Tied for first are the Capitals with Carolina. Division dwellers, the Jersey Devils, in 7th in that bracket. When play begins today, there are 7 games on the slate. There were 6 matinees originally scheduled for this Sunday, January 2, 2022. As we bring you inside Capital One, we're off and running. Brad Meyer, Corey Severett are the referees. Jesse Marquis, Travis Garlitz on the line. Hischier strolling through center. Boquist on the drop. Quickly they move ahead. It's deflected aside as Dmitry Orlov read the play well. Down the wing for Wilson. Finds Ovechkin and he jammed that one wide of the cage.
And a real good back check there by Damon Severson, who was caught up in that 4-on-2 rush by the Devils. The speed apparent right off the get-go. Defense has to be the mandate for the Washington Capitals. Get on them early and not allow that speed to come together.
Both of these teams last in action on Friday. Washington getting the better of the Red Wings in Detroit 3-1. New Jersey had a matinee New Year's Eve day game at Prudential Center and outlasted the Edmonton Oilers 6-5 in overtime. Caps in possession. Play it back on top for Kempny. Top of the screen, you're seeing the lineups for Peter Laviolette. Numerous changes front and back, as we will detail all afternoon long, I am sure.
That big one's Backstrom and TJ not in action today.
This one skimmed wide of the cage. Hughes is there for New Jersey. Jack Hughes with back-to-back 3-point games. A quick send away. Sharangovich for Brad. Kicked out by Samsonov.
The Capitals just about caught on a poor line change. One defense went off, a little late coming onto the ice, and that established that 2-on-1. They're very quick from transition, especially their top 2 lines.
Nick Jensen back in the Washington lineup for Kempny to drive one in from about 70 feet. All the way around she rolls, taking it through center. It's Ty Smith for the Devils. Snapshot here. That turned out to be a pass intended for Mercer, just beneath his blade. Polkinen on the feed. Smith lets it fly. That's deadened in front. Van Riemsdyk's been among the blocked shot leaders for the Caps all season long. Smith winds and fires, and Samsonov had the angle.
Nice opportunity there for the Devils. Good slap shot, even better save. At the other end, 2-on-1, right side of the screen is Alexander Ovechkin. Just gets jammed, was not in the wheelhouse. And here's that Devils rush up the ice again. 2 bad passes. One by the Caps, one by the Devils. Both those teams had 2-on-1s that they couldn't finish off.
Alex Ovechkin from his perch at the Washington bench. We're into the 3rd minute now of a 0-0 hockey game in D.C. Dowd gets the draw. As Van Riemsdyk will flutter this to center. Dowd on the puck. Hischier right there with him in his hip pocket. As things get stacked up right in front of the Washington bench. Severson scales it along. It's a foot race to the corner. Hischier there first. Van Riemsdyk took a tumble. Nico Hischier plays it on top. Reading the play well was Hagelin for Washington. Van Riemsdyk and Hischier tangle up again. Switch it for Jonas Siegenthaler. Former Washington Capital, played about 100 games, just shy of it in a DC sweater. Boquist feeds. Snapshot on the way, that was blocked. Zaka was pulling the trigger as the Caps will get some fresh folks on.
That was an excellent block by Nick Dowd, took it right in the chest.
Zaka fires, that one shrugged away by Samsonov, right around his collarbone. Schultz will take it off the dasher board. Good to see Justin Schultz back in the lineup for Washington. 23 in the red is Michael Scarbosa. Scarbosa's snapshot vacuumed up by the netminder Blackwood. He'll hold. Today's Toyota Star Trek locker, it sets the stage for these goalies.
Well, it's Blackwood for the New Jersey Devils this afternoon. Here's his numbers to date: 7-6-3. Not very good GAA or save percentage overall. When he finds his games, he's very tough to beat. Sammy, he continues to get the W's. 13 wins on the season, a couple in the last 2 games. Well done by Ilya.
Couple of towering netminders, right around 6'3", 6'4". Both of them very much look the part. Mackenzie Blackwood, who turned 25 last month. Ilya Samsonov is 24 now in his 4th full pro season in North America. You could tell there by those numbers quickly that Blackwood's had his issues against the Caps.
Just 1 win and 9 tries. His best season a couple of years ago for the Devils overall. He picked up 22 wins. They need to get him back to that type of caliber goaltending if they're going to have a chance.
Samsonov moves it from the trapezoid. Carlson trickles it on. Scarbosa sends out Leeson. Brett Leeson, nice pass. McMichael closing in. His return goes unanswered. Bastian off the glass and out. The Devils getting Nathan Bastian back off of waivers from Seattle.
Yeah, they lost him, man. I thought he was going to fit in well in Seattle. He did not. They had too many numbers. They allowed him to be put on the waiver wire, and the Devils liked him. They didn't want to lose him in the first place, picked him back up, and now part of the 4th line.
Hopefully for Caps fans, the Washington squad won't take too many penalties today, but when they do, you'll see Bastian setting a 6'4" screen in front of Samsonov. Wilson trundles this on through Kuznetsov and down. It's icing against the Capitals. Today's Taco Bell take, it leads you to believe the Caps like to see the Devils on the menu.
Yeah, here's 9 dominant streaks in the history of this team. 2 are active. The Devils, they beat them 9 straight, 8 last year combined, and 1 this season. Ottawa also riding a 9-game win streak, or lose streak in their case, against the Caps. The Caps have had some nice streaks they put together, especially against the Devils.
Washington currently 18 points ahead of the Devils on that Metro Division ladder. Samsonov made the stop there on Hughes and was quick to cover.
That's a real nice stop on Hughes. Took away that short side. Hughes 3+3, as you mentioned, Joe. Just getting back, finding his rhythm. 5 goals in the last 10 games overall. Caps got to beware of this guy. It starts with a shot from Bratt. They're very good at picking up pucks around the net. That trio, they're very crafty in tight situations.
Hughes, who missed a bunch of games, about 17 of them, with a dislocated left shoulder earlier in the campaign. Sharangovich looks to stuff. Samsonov, a smart-looking stop there.
He was lucky he didn't turn his head and go to the far post there. Excellent stop. I think Sharangovich was surprised at how much open ice he had.
Kuznetsov looking after Bratt. They dig in. Wilson sent Hughes flying. Hughes has given away a lot of pounds in that encounter.
he flew about 6 feet.
Jensen sets it. Bang, bang for Wilson. Denied by Blackwood, and he'll cover.
Yeah, good play all around by the Caps. Being physical, Tom Wilson throwing around his weight against their top centermen. Up the middle, they're pretty darn good when you have Hischier, Hughes, Mercer, and McLeod. That's sort of their strength among the young players. And here's that little play down low. Jensen's going to kick it to Kuznetsov and right to Willie. Good shot against the big goaltender Blackwood. There's the heavy hit on Hughes, their young
stud player.
Tom Wilson playing NHL game number 599 today. Washington gets the offensive zone draw. Van Riemsdyk towards the net. Knocked away by Dougie Hamilton, who wears 7 in the white. Normally teams up with Ryan Graves in back for the Devils. The Devils minus their head coach. No Lindy Ruff today. Elaine Nasreddine is pushing the buttons for the Devils as Lindy Ruff remains in COVID protocol. Sprong, speaking of that, just off of the list for Washington. 10 in the red, back to business as Kuokkanen sends it hard around. Lars Eller working through center. Eller has a quick developing 3-on-2, but at the line, this is offside against Washington.
That was a real nice play by Graves. He utilized his size and reach to stop that 3-on-2. It was 3-on-2 all the way from center and in, but it was Graves' reach that breaks up the opportunity for Daniel and Lars Eller.
There's Elaine Nasreddine, formerly the interim head coach. Remember, in 1920 season, he took over for John Hines.
Some nice help behind the bench by Mark Recchi, the longtime veteran NHLer.
A little bit shy of the 6-minute mark, are we, with the NHL on NBC Sports Washington. Jersey out shooting Washington to this point 3-2. Studenic, Slovakian winger, watching Bastian hover in the corner. Bastian plowing his way to the front, defended there by John Carlson. As the Capitals clear, we continue 5-on-5. Veteran blue liner PK Subban scoops it to center. The quick up sends in Leeson. Leeson feeds for McMichael, batted away by Blackwood. Orlov, sweep it cross rink. Carlson let it fly, that's blocked. Turnaround wrister denied, and Blackwood has the rebound. Connor McMichael had the lid knocked off of his head as we step to commercial break. 0-0. Back for more in the first from Washington, D.C. And to recognize his NHL record for power play goals.
1,230 games, 275 power play goals. It took Anderchuk 409 games more than the Capitals captain, and he will be saluted. That's one record I'm not sure will ever be broken. You always say, well, maybe it is, maybe it won't, but at the end of the day, that's one tough one to ever crack for the captain, who gave a nice salute to the crowd here today at Capital One.
Dave Andreychuk passed Phil Esposito in the 02-03 season. Ovechkin placing himself #1 on the top of the heap for power play goals. No goals today. No power plays as well. 6.5 into this contest. Washington beat the Devils October 21st at Prudential Center. Closing in. Snapshot there from Kuznetsov that was blocked. The Caps picked up a 4-1 win in the opener of the season set. Hischier lets it go. Glove juggled and held by Samsonov.
That was pretty good backtracking by the Washington Capitals, as it looked like they had a little bit of a jailbreak going with Hischier wheeling up the ice. Zaka's a big rig on the right side. Here they come. Notice they're trying to wait for a 3-on-2 to develop. The far post, that would have been taken away by Carlson on the back check, so Hischier really only one opportunity there. Had he tried that pass across, John Carlson in excellent shape against Zaka driving that far post.
Devils' top 2 lines might as well just be a track team. They can flat out fly up front. Hathaway busting it back for Washington with Hagelin at the attacking line, working on Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton with a long reach. At point position, snapshot that's deflected. It dribbles to the doorstep. A chance there as Blackwood couldn't sight that puck for a moment. It was played with a high stick. We get the whistle.
Yeah, the play will come outside. Hathaway, Dowd, and company causing a commotion like they always do. They know their roles. They play them to the fullest each and every night. There's never a shift off for this trio, that's for sure. There's that weird bounce. Blackwood did a pretty good job tracking that as he went down and then was able to recover, coming across with a nice push with his right leg to get across. Here's the shot by Schultz. They've had 3 or 4 really good blocks, have the Devils, against the Cap shooters here in the first this afternoon.
Kuznetsov set to draw for Washington to Blackwood's right. Michael McLeod bending in there for New Jersey to take it. McLeod and Heeshear early in the game against Edmonton. Both of those centers were sharing the defensive responsibility against McDavid. Rebound there, score! Off of Samsonov, and Sharon Govich slams it home.
And that's a wicked shot, first of all, by Hughes. And there's that speed you were talking about. He got a step on Schultz and was able to elevate that puck off the shoulder and under the chin of the goaltender. No chance for Salmon to secure the puck. Here they come. Look at that little nifty skate move to get around Schultz. The shot is high off the left shoulder. He can't find the rebound coming off, but Sharon Govich does. He's got his 7th goal of the season, but it's all about the dancing feet of Hughes that's able to elude the defenseman Schultz. And Hughes remains hot, as does Sharon Govich. He's got a 4-game goal streak, or a point streak going now, 5 points over those games.
Sharon Govich led the Devils in goals against Washington a season ago when the Caps downed New Jersey 8 times. Remember, they were Mass Mutual East Division brethren a season ago.
Yep, they're ready to go, that's for sure. I mean, Hughes has had a good start. Playing with Sharon Govich, they found something special alongside Brad. It's a pretty darn good looking line. There's that point streak I was talking about. He had a slow start. In fact, at one point, he was a healthy scratch in November. And all of a sudden, he's come back and he's fit in well with that trio.
7 tallies for Sharon Govich, all of them at even strength. 1-0 New Jersey, a little bit shy of the 8-minute mark in the opening period. PK Subban, former Norris Trophy winner, won that award back in 2013. Schultz sends it in, delayed offside, washed out as the Capitals were able to tag up. More heavy hitting with Wilson and Kuznetsov in the vicinity. On the move, Kuokkanen throws it to a vacant wing. Wilson will take it on the fly for the Caps through center, but he's cut off by Hughes on the back check.
Yeah, Graves was caught off guard on that heavy hit by Wilson. He's thrown a couple already here in this first period, and he went off slowly to the Devils bench.
Jensen begins the breakout. Lars Eller, who missed the Detroit game, back in business, 20 in red. Severson keeping it on the outside. Sherry there to defend. Kuokkanen deals it. Mercer, great look from the angle, they score. Jersey with 2 on the board. Severson jumping in from point position.
Oh, they've been working from day one under Lindy Ruff in training camp about lateral puck movement. And this is a perfect example. When you go from one side to the other, it's too hard to defend coming across. Mercer makes a beautiful pass. He's had a heck of a rookie year. He's got 19 points now, 10 of them assists. Look at that pass, tic-tac-toe. No chance for Sammy coming across on that play. There's a hard pass, a lot of tempo on that. Severson, a defenseman, pretty good-looking shot. I mean, that is a forward-looking shot from the defenseman Severson. And quickly, the Devils are up 2-0 this afternoon.
2 tallies, 2 minutes and 14 seconds apart for the advantage. New Jersey up to 7 shots, out shooting the Caps 7-3 in the early going.
It's a Jekyll and Hyde team, Joe. I mean, they had a stretch of 1-9-1. Since then, they won their last 2, and they're off to a good start against the Caps today.
On the move, McLeod getting to the outside. You mentioned that last game with Edmonton for the Devils. There were 4 goals on the board in the first 6 minutes of that outing.
And weren't most of them first-round picks that scored?
First round, about number 1 overall.
Number 1 overall, yeah.
Plenty of those in that kind of a game with Edmonton and Jersey. It's Washington and Jersey today, and the home team trails by 2 before this first period is halfway complete. Subban guns it around the wall. Orlov taking the boards away. Zacha there to interrupt. Here come the Devils. Heeshear 2-on-1 with Boquist. Boquist going to the front. That pass was behind him. Rewind. Slam back in from behind the center stripe. So that's icing against New Jersey.
They've created a lot of odd man breaks against the Caps with quick ups, and they're hitting the tape. And when you hit the tape, you don't lose a step. And there you see the speed going wide. Real nice play by Heeshear. Then he tries to find his running mate, Boquist, but he had a chance to shoot it. Goes off the right skate boot of Karlsson. That prevents another goal for Heeshear and his Devils.
Face-off control for Jersey. Locker this morning, I watched the first period of the New Jersey-Edmonton game. It was like it was played at hyperspeed. Both of those teams were shot out of a cannon.
McDavid can probably keep up to these guys.
My goodness, is he fast.
Mm-hmm.
And smooth. Orlov fakes, looks for Wilson. Boquist is there. Help comes from Graves. He's fencing with Kuznetsov. Devils on the board twice before this game is 10 minutes old. Sharangovich and Severson for the visiting Devs. Orlov will wind it up on a Sunday afternoon in our nation's capital. John Carlson wires one in from center. Peter Laviolette calling for a line change. Bratt takes it along the boards, looks for the trailer. Hughes fanned on the snapshot. Hagelin was there to guard him. On the go. Van Riemsdyk right on in. Denied. As Blackwood was ready for Van Riemsdyk, the New Jersey native.
That was the best save of the period for Blackwood. What a great play, though, by TVR. Talking about making and activating from defense. That's a perfect example of jumping into the play by TVR.
Subban sends one to the net. A routine stop for Ilya Samsonov. New Jersey Devils, they mean business on the road today. They've got a 2-0 advantage over the Caps. It's early on today. Caps fans, Xfinity Mobile delivering fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Save on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile. Face-off at the offensive end for these Devils. Entering play today at 12-15 and 5, 7th overall in the Metro. Offside against the Devs.
Yeah, Severson just couldn't keep that in. This is unusual for the Caps to give up 2 goals in the first because they're downright stingy. They allowed 3 first-period goals in all of December, the second fewest in the National Hockey League. The Penguins had 2. You take a look, or were -2. They were the fewest, so pretty impressive. The Caps overall, 17 first-period goals allowed this season overall, so that's stingy. And the Devils have jumped on them. Maybe it's a 3 o'clock start. A weird time here this afternoon.
New Jersey scoring 74 seconds apart on consecutive shots to take that 2-0 lead. Mercer helps set one of them up. Sprong finds Eller, and Eller will lift this one back to center. Dawson Mercer closing in. Klokanen off the head fake, and Samsonov made a stick save. That was critical there.
And what a sweet move by Dawson Mercer. The Caps are reaching. They can't reach against the Devils. You've got to play them strong, man on man. You've got to win those little loose pucks. Mercer just won that puck, allowing them to get another quality chance.
If you've been with us throughout the day, we started with the Capitals pregame live, and we let you know about the numerous line changes, personnel changes that were happening again for the Capitals. If you weren't with us, try to itemize some of those in the next little instant as Orlov outraces Boquist to it. Long wrister knocking the goalie stick out of the hands of Ilya Samsonov. So on a day when the Caps are missing both the veteran forwards Backstrom and Oshie, it's Orlov right on in. He snapped it high. Quick centering pass. Hischier is there. The Capitals just now with Martin Feravari remaining on COVID-19 protocol. Scarbosa getting back into the lineup. Alexei Protas was reassigned to the American Hockey League. That could very well just be a paper move, but big number 59 is off of the roster for now. On a day when Schultz and Jensen have returned from the COVID list, Yegor Sharangovich has it for the Devils, and he'll wheel through center. Forced back by Hagelin. Just over 7 minutes with which to work in the first. Icing against the Devils.
Missed pass there by Severson, the longest tenured New Jersey Devils. Tries to find one of the goal scorers this afternoon, Sharangovich. Here's that chance by Mercer, throwing it across right there, and a good look for Klokanen, trying to put it by pole. At the other end, Dmitry Orlov trying to make it a 2-1 game. Nice sleight of hands there. Backhand, forehand, a quick snapper that just goes over the bar and the shoulder.
Dennis Cholowski, Matt Irwin not given jerseys today on the back end for Washington. Anthony Mantha remains out on the injured list. Van Riemsdyk going to the goal. Blackwood was ready there at the near post.
That was a sweet move against Hughes, the forward playing defense down low. TVR walked him and got a good opportunity.
Devils without Miles Wood, who's injured. Jonathan Bernier injured. Tice Thompson as well. On the Devils COVID list, Jimmy Vesey, Tomas Tatar, and backup netminder John Gillies. The Devils have used 6 goalies this season already. 6. They have a 2-0 advantage for Mackenzie Blackwood this afternoon as Bastian rumbles back through center. Didn't get it through John Carlson there at the attacking line. Orlov, who scored 3 goals against the Devils last season, drops this one in and sidesteps a hit. Subban looking down the dasher, connecting the dots. Studenic fires, pad save. Samsonov.
Now that stretch pass is working wonders for the New Jersey Devils. The Caps have to tighten that up. That was another 2-on-1 by the Devils here in the first.
Here we go again. Bastian 2-on-2. Bastian fires, stopped by Samsonov. A choice rebound there that's collected by Kuznetsov. Sending out Wilson on the crisscross with Ovechkin. Alex tried to tap that one through. Turns and fires. That was denied. End to end. Dawson Mercer will fly after this one. Michael Kempny there for Washington as icing was washed out. 5:40 remaining in the first period. 2 goals for the Devils, 1 minute 14 seconds apart, giving them the lead as Jensen skies this one to the end boards. Jonas Siegenthaler around for Kuokkanen. Lost it there, backtracking with Sprong. He'll fire. A stick save for Blackwood.
And that was a good one because Spronger was moving laterally. He's just stuck with it enough to get that blocker in the right side of his body on that.
Around the horn it comes for Van Riemsdyk, the long wrister that buzzes wide. Sprong, who tallied in the October win for the Caps at the Devils' expense. He scored against Scott Wedgwood that day. Kuokkanen plays it on for Mercer, splitting the gap. Mercer fires, deflected by Schultz. Off of the rink. Break time for us. We'll get you back for the final 4:56 of the opening frame after these words. Coaches in all-time wins. Locker, how about this with the Toyota League leaders? We're reminded that Alex Ovechkin is definitely a winner.
Yeah, just passed Phil Esposito for game-winning goals. He's 3rd most. 3 will put him past Mr. Hockey Gordie Howe, and he's chasing down Jaromir Jagr. All today brought to you by Toyota.
Alex Ovechkin points in 9 of 10, 14 of 16 as he entered play today. He and his mates have some catching up to do. They trail the Devils by 2 on home ice. Hughes ready to draw. Sharangovich from the sharp angle had that deflected. Graves sends it below the goal line. Yegor Sharangovich, native of Belarus, tried to work the cycle for Jesper Bratt. That failed. Hagelin sends it on. Nick Jensen working wide. Jensen towards the cage, cuffed aside by Blackwood. Dowd pawns the puck there for Kempny, returns it to Dowd. Michael Kempny switch it up for Jensen, shaded by Bratt. We continue 5-on-5. There has not been a power play in this first period.
And the Devils don't give you many. The last couple of games just about flawless, not taking minor penalties. The Caps got to beat them 5-on-5.
Hughes with a rip-off backhand. Splendid stop there by Samsonov on the rebound against Bratt.
It should be 3-0. What a stop. That is a game saver for Sammy there with the right pad. They had a wide open net.
Plenty of quick sticks on the forwards
for sure.
For the Devils. They are among the top 3 in the league in takeaways this season. They're putting more pressure on the Caps at the Washington D zone. Wilson double teamed through center.
Well, their speed doesn't give you much room to operate. The Capitals are going to have to use a short pass game against that type of speed and pressure.
Kuznetsov wheels, plays it back for an Orlov drive that's over top of the net. McLeod between the skates on the deflection there for Bastian. As Bastian will dump it in. We're 3 minutes and 20 seconds away from Integrate Intermission Live. Be turning things over to Alexa Landestoy and Ellen May. This wrister is deflected down and just missed. A rude change of direction there.
And that looked like Bastian got a stick on it. He mentioned him playing the front of the power play. That's why. Good set of mitts for a guy that's 6'4".
Orlov snaking his way into the zone for Washington. Little give and go exchange. Clangs off of Severson. Back at point position, Orlov captures. Dimitri running away from Jesper Boquist. There's Zacha, lassoed by Wilson. Ovechkin enters the picture. A wrister that was spoiled by his former teammate there, Jonas Siegenthaler.
Yeah, that's a good stick there by Siegs, making sure it's not up on the ice. It's on the ice to take away that shot from Alexander Ovechkin. We'll have coincidental minor penalties doled out here. And I think one of them will go against Kuznetsov. We'll wait and see. All right, it's Lars Eller, excuse me.
New Jersey penalty number 71, 2 minutes for tripping. Washington penalty number 20, 2 minutes for slashing.
So it's 4-on-4 upcoming. There's Siegenthaler, the former Cap, going to the box, along with Lars Eller. So Caps and Devils 4-on-4 action for the last 2 minutes. And 31 seconds are left here in this first period. Here it is, along the wall. There's a little chip to the middle. Watch behind the play. There's the little trip. But then what happens is there's the slash coming right back. A retaliation penalty takes away the Capitals power play, as both guys will have a seat.
Referee Kelly Sutherland making that assessment as we stay 4-on-4 now with 2.5 to go in the first. Graves will gather it in, 26-year-old native of Nova Scotia, hiding back behind Mackenzie Blackwood in the goal for the Devils this afternoon. The Devils and the Rangers are the only two Metro teams the Caps will play just 3 times this season. Everybody else in the bracket, it'll be a 4-game season set. Nico Hischier pivots around Van Riemsdyk. Bratt right up the gut, a laser that goes high. Under 2 minutes to play in the first. Hathaway leaves it for Trevor Van Riemsdyk, native of Middletown, New Jersey. John Carlson would have been born in Massachusetts, but spent a lot of his childhood in Jersey. Kuznetsov from glove to stick. Sharon Govich right in his path. Severson heads back up ice and leaves it in his wake as we have 4-on-4 action for another 54 ticks. Sprong fanned on a snapshot. Daniel Sprong recovers, closing in, little give and go. Didn't get that one through the pack. Smith goes the other way for the Devils. With Hughes on the fly, Sharon Govich tiptoes to the corner. Sharon Govich on top for Smith. Scooping one towards the goal that's deflected to the boards as we reach the McNugget minute of the opening period. Samsonov showing some patience there. Orlov on the go. Dmitry Orlov double teamed. Carlson trailing the play. Carlson fires, score!
What a shot by John Carlson, one of his best this season, if not the best. And it all starts with some great hustle by Dmitry Orlov, getting the puck into the zone, a give and go, and Carlson shoots it as quick as he can, getting that drop pass from Scarbosa. Great setup, great play, and there it is over the left shoulder at Blackwood. He knew it right away. That was a scorcher. John Carlson, that's huge momentum late in the period.
Late in the period means 19-13 of the frame. Carlson with points in 3 straight games. The Devils have iced the puck here. It's 2-1 Jersey.
That was a little bit of everything 4-on-4. The speed of Orlov, the nice interaction between a forward and a defenseman, and John's got his 8th. He's running hot. He had 5 points in his last 2, marked that down for 6 points now in his last 3, and over a point per game his last 20 overall.
John will celebrate birthday number 32 in 8 days' time. Orlov did a lot of the heavy lifting there. Washington cuts the Jersey lead in half. Carlson closing in on 7th place all time on the Washington Capital point scoring list. Kempny feeds a slot. Blackwood made the save on Dowd, or else this would have been tied.
That was a deck pass. Nice job by Michael.
On the go, Pavel Zacha. Zacha wrapped up there by fellow native of the Czech Republic, Michael Kempny. It's on the boards for Dowd. He'll play it behind Ovechkin through centers. The Capital captain wants the line change. 10 seconds remaining in the period. Subban going to backpedal off and take this one-goal advantage with him and his mates to the dressing room. New Jersey on top.
That was a huge goal by the Washington Capitals. Less than a minute to go in the first period. If not for Samsonov, this game could have already been out of hand because of the speed of the Devils, their puck movement. Caps got to clamp down the last 40 against this group.
Folks, for the second consecutive game, the Capitals scoring in the last minute of a period, so you get a free 6-piece McNugget with a minimum $1 purchase on the McDonald's app tomorrow at participating McDonald's. 1/3 of the way through regulation in Washington inside a Capital One arena. The Caps are trailing by 1 as they tangle with the New Jersey Devils. We are set for the Integrate Intermission Live studio segment. From the rink to the studio, here are Alexa and Alan. Prohibited. This NBC Sports Washington coverage of Capitals hockey today is being brought to you by Jiffy Lube Service Centers. Keep your car road ready and visit jiffylubedc.com for locations. By MedStar Health, easy access to great health care. It's how we treat people. And by IT Cadre, innovation, transformation. IT Cadre, your vision, our purpose. On a Sunday afternoon in the district, the Capitals had the last of 3 goals in the opening period. John Carlson doing the trick. It's 2-1 Devils after 1. Folks, the Washington Capitals and Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation announcing today a Fort DuPont Ice Hockey Club online merchandise shop. Proceeds are benefiting Fort DuPont and the Washington Capitals Capital Impact Fund. So proceeds from the merchandise, they'll benefit the Caps Capital Impact Fund and Fort DuPont Ice Hockey Club. Customers receiving the orders within 3 weeks of the store, which will close down on January 31st. Go to washcaps.com/Fort DuPont Apparel.
Neil Henderson has done such a wonderful job. Established back in 1978, more and more kids playing our great game. Those sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats look fantastic. Please help out.
That's Craig Laughlin. I'm Joe Beninati. Al Koken's our rinkside reporter. A shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew here assembled today, this afternoon. Capital One Arena, the NHL venue for Caps Devils Part 2 of 3 this season. New Jersey a 2-1 advantage after 20. Washington took the opener in this series way back in October, 4-1 in their only visit to Prudential Center. Jonas Siegenthaler sails one wide of the goal. Long drive score in the first 22 seconds of the second period. Another change of pace.
Yeah, huge deflection. That puck was being shot wide. It was redirected. Severson, the main guy at the blue line, just flings it at the net, and Hischier is going to pick up the 3rd goal, it looks like, this afternoon. He had his stick ready. Watch right in front of the net. There's 13 setting up Hischier. The puck is deflected down to the far side. Sammy and company a disbeliever. Severson's on the board again, another point. Really nice touch there by their top trio, and they've got their 2-goal lead back just like that.
Shot on goal number 14 of the game for Hischier and the Devils. They've converted 3 of those. Ilya Samsonov began the day among the top 2 in terms of save percentage in the first period. Tough nut to crack early in games, but the Devils have 3 on him on the board in the first 21 minutes.
On that rush there, Hughes threw off the play on an errant pass. He's pretty good getting that puck to Bratt and Sharangovich on the wings, on the flanks with him, but there he put himself offside, throwing that puck behind that guy in the center of your screen. Bratt looking for his 10th of the season.
Dowd gets control of the draw for Washington. The Capitals in the red sweaters today. They'll be off until Friday. That Tuesday night originally scheduled game north of the border in Montreal having already been postponed. as Kempney settles and fires. Broken up in front of Mackenzie Blackwood. The Capitals get St. Louis at Enterprise Center on Friday. These Devils in Boston for a Tuesday night tussle. Both of these teams having seen games on their schedules be postponed. Hughes wheels out of the corner. Finds Graves from the angle that's off the side of the goal. Michael Kempney there for Washington, didn't get it out. Graves plays the end board. Big Karam paddled aside. There's a penalty call coming up against Washington.
And it's going to go against Jensen. Some pretty good puck movement there by the Devils. An errant clearing pass by Kempney is going to end up costing them because Jensen has to take down the forward right in front. And there's the holding call. The errant pass, it looked like Kempney was looking for the winger, and that turned the puck over. They keep the play alive, and there's the pull down right in front of the net. That's a pretty easy call for the officials. The haul down, and the Capitals go to the PK.
New Jersey with power play goals in each of their last 3 outings. This Devils team has won its last 2. They've had their issues on the road this season. They've won only 4 of 14 away from Prudential Center. These power play numbers are powered by Hydro. Washington's PK still among the top 10 on the circuit. Devils get control of it. Bratt works quickly. Bastian on the rotation play. Severson had that blast blocked as Wilson scuttled over there in the nick of time. Hischier, who has the early second period tally. Bratt skip a man, play it up top. Seam pass. Bratt tried to make one more, blocked off by Van Riemsdyk. Jesper Bratt on the perimeter. It's Severson straight away. Bratt giving some ground, drawing Wilson with him. They work it from Hughes to Hischier. Bastian will set up in front of the goal and be that screener. Centering pass didn't get through. Orlov off the boards. Eller strong on his stick to clear.
And that they needed. They needed a good structured penalty kill. This power play last season was 29th in the National Hockey League. They tried to pick it up this year, and they definitely show signs with good puck movement so far.
Jack Hughes lost it. Hagelin's in. Hagelin feeds down. Back to Hagelin. No! Blackwood gets over. It looked like it hit a bit of the pipe and crossbar as well. It remains 3-1.
Wow.
Mercer on the go. Devils working on the man advantage another 38 seconds. Back comes Washington with Dowd through center. After a tremendous chance was thwarted by Blackwood and the post.
You couldn't do that any better than the Caps did there between Dowd and Hagelin.
Subban rolling in. Subban still 20 seconds to operate with Jensen in the sin bin. Zacha, seam, Subban straight away. Slapper from Smith. Vacuumed up by Samsonov.
Well, it's high risk, high reward when Hughes is back with the puck. Hagelin can't believe it. Here's Hughes turning the puck over. There's the give and go, and Hags can't make it go past that right pad, and he got a piece of it. And then it rings the post. Tough block for the Capitals shorthanded. That would have been a huge change of momentum here in this hockey game.
Tremendous quickness and flexibility. You could appreciate that from the replay angle behind the net. Blackwood with a supreme save there to keep it a 2-goal advantage. Jensen's out of the box for Washington. Zacha plays it. Subban fires. Knocked down there by Samsonov. Yanked all the way by Eller. Just as the penalty comes to its end, we're back to 5-on-5. An early Nico Hischier goal from Severson and Siegenthaler, 22 seconds into this stanza, has made it 3-1 for the guys in the jersey jerseys. Mercer working down the flank. Dawson Mercer corralled by Yevgeny Kuznetsov. Further still for Sprong. Sprong on the go. His pass picked off by the back check of Zacha. Tries the quick send away. Odd man rush. Great diving effort by Kuznetsov as he beat Andreas Janssen there. Capitals minus TJ Oshie and Nick Backstrom due to non-COVID related illnesses. Sprong just off the COVID-19 protocol list goes after Graves. Volkanen tangled up with Orlov, who dropped him in his tracks.
Excellent pinch by Orley, trying to get back in this hockey game. You got to pinch aggressively. Closed off the dasher, but the Capitals couldn't generate after that play.
Graves offers it ahead to McLeod. Michael McLeod, who would have played against his younger brother a couple days ago. Ryan, who's on a line with Edmonton's Connor McDavid. Siegenthaler sends it down low. McLeod given the shoulder by Orlov. Stuff attempt here came right on through from Studenic. Subban lets it fly. That was erased by Sgarbossa. Sgarbossa and Eller into the lineup today with Oshie and Backstrom held out. Leeson plays the boards. McMichael there played sparingly in the opening period, 24 in the red, as Hughes goes one-on-one against Carlson. Hughes jitterbugs towards the boards and leaves it in the corner. Carlson looking after Sharangovich. Leeson protecting it on the wall, and away comes Washington. Sgarbossa, who had a first period assist. Orlov drops it on back. Carlson closing in. Nice fake. Carlson fires. Blocked by the sliding Siegenthaler. Out of play.
It's never too late to back check with the speed of the Devils. Watch Kuznetsov come back in a slide and a poke check, or they would have been in again. Beautiful play. Gets that puck away from Janssen, and there's the Capitals bench applauding the work of Evgeny Kuznetsov on the back check. That would have been too wide open, would have been a 2-on-1 once again, if not for Kuzi's hustle.
Number 92 has been ruthless against the Devils, as you can tell, last 8 outings. It's a Washington team that's beaten New Jersey 9 straight heading into play today. As Kempny maneuvers at point position, Washington has used 30 different players in the last 10 games. It's an awful lot. Personnel decisions day after day. Eller fires, broken up there with Connor Sherry stationed in front. Nice pass. Eller give and go with Carlson that didn't get through the pack.
I would have liked to see him just go, not give, because he had a wide open shot.
Zacha 2-on-1. There's Boquist off the saucer pass. It went floating over the stick of Jesper Boquist. John Carlson at the end of his shift will clear it in. New Jersey out shooting Washington by 3, outscoring them by 2 as we near the midway mark of regulation time. Kuznetsov taking a stroll through center, sending in Ovechkin. Ovechkin's drive is high. Smith was there in that shooting channel as the puck leaves the rink. We'll take our leave of you for a moment, get you back on the network right after these words. Hammond, Alain Nasreddine, 1 goal in his career with Pittsburgh in 06. Which 2 players assisted on the goal? Now, we can help you. I don't know the answer, but we can help you by some guesses. Usually questions like this, as far-fetched as they are, there's usually some trigger, right? There's usually something that's involved, maybe somebody who's in the building, somebody who's a former Cap.
Right.
So
agree.
Think about the 2006-07 Pittsburgh Penguins. So you would have had both of the big gunners like Crosby and Malkin there. You would have had some old friends like Gonchar and Orpik there. Just things to consider. I'm just spitballing because I have no idea.
I think you're right. I think one of them is in the building. I would go with that.
Well, I didn't hint to him yet, but that is also a possibility. Face-off control. Schultz cranks this one up. Loose in front of the Devil goal. Guarded admirably today by Mackenzie Blackwood. That snapshot's a scorcher that goes high. Wilson had a lot of mustard on that. We're 5-on-5. We're about 6:45 into the second. It's 3-1 for the Devils. Sharangovich, Severson in the first. Heeshear here in the second. The Capitals' lone strike from John Carlson, if you're just checking in with us. Schultz ambles back through center. He'll lace one in. On the lip of the boards all the way around. Ovechkin takes it on the move with Dowd back on top. And Riemsdyk bluffs it. Snap pass came right on through. At point position, Schultz. Wilson with Dowd and Ovechkin here on this shift. Nick Dowd through center, sandwiched, Koken in there on the back check. Siegenthaler sprinkles it ahead for Studenic. Hagelin with the steal. Blackwood made one of his best today on Hagelin's shorthanded bid a few moments ago. At point position, it bounces past Kempny all the way back into the D zone. Samsonov trying to bypass some of the forecheck here. Gets on him pretty quickly. He'll do it again. Devils tagging up on the delayed offside as Jensen wanders back through center. Jensen just back off the COVID protocol list, will clear in. Hathaway there going after Subban. Graves has plenty of time to clear. On the move, Jesper Bratt not going to get in. Lars Eller wouldn't allow it. Eller 3-on-3 the other way. Eller's feed, that was snared. Quick up from Hughes. Here comes Sharangovich 2-on-0. Sharangovich to his forehand. Denied by Samsonov.
Capitals caught on a bad line change. Their defensive pairing both went off, and that was problems because of the quick up. Thank goodness that was kept out of the net.
Eller working wide on Subban. Casually leaves this one behind the cage. There's Graves on it for the Devils. Hughes is skating up a storm today.
Yeah, both offensively and defensively. He made that beautiful play defensively to spring them on their last offensive chance.
Smith fanned on the pass. Scarbosa was there to defend. Number 86 for the Devils, so light on his feet. This is a Devils group, extremely young. They had the youngest group of forwards by average age in the entire league. McMichael fanned on that one.
And his brother's pretty darn good too in Vancouver, who we'll see next weekend. He's played 32 games for Bruce Boudreau and has 27 points from the blue line.
That's Quinn Hughes.
Yep.
This is icing against Washington.
Well, defense leads to offense. They turn the puck over on the Caps, and here they come. Sharangovich just about a 2-on-0 coming up the ice with Bratt. Elects to call his own number because John Carlson hustled off the bench to take him away. And he took that pass away. If he doesn't, it's a 4-1 layup goal for the Caps. Nice stop there by the spinning Samsonov on Sharangovich.
Yegor Sharangovich, who scored against Edmonton on Friday, has points in 4 straight. Jesper Boqvist challenged by Orlov. Slot it there. Who? He sheer just missed.
Did he ever let that go?
Here he comes again. Lets it fly. Kicked out of there by Samsonov. Smith towards the cage. That's easy pickings. And Ilya says, boys, we need a breather.
What do you want from your sportsbook? The best odds? Same game parlays you can boost for even more? You want to live your bet life. New customers get risk-free bets up to $2,000.
Scarbosa awaiting his next chance. Same for Hathaway and Hagelin and Dowd. New Jersey Devils GM is Tom Fitzgerald, the assistant general manager. I saw just a few moments ago the great Martin Brodeur roaming the hallways of the press box area here at Capital One.
He had crazy numbers in his career against the Caps. He had 40 wins of his 500 plus, right, against the Caps.
As Kuznetsov glides in, somewhere head coach Lindy Ruff has to be pleased by what he's seen from his Devils today, as Lindy is on the protocol list. 10 minutes gone by in the second. Alain Nasreddine guiding the squad in Washington. They are playing extremely well, and a 3-1 leader against the Caps. Kempny offers for Ovechkin. Through center, a delicate little move there from Kuznetsov. On to Van Riemsdyk. Trevor Van Riemsdyk swats it down low. Kuokkanen keeping tabs on Carlson. 5-on-5 play. It's 21-14 in shots for the Devils. Tom Wilson covering up at point position. Severson gathers in. Eamon Severson on a long stretch finds Janssen, the former 20-goal scorer with the Maple Leafs back in the day. McLeod in a 4-man scrum. It's Orlov venturing back through center. Hathaway 3 abreast at the attacking line. He'll scale it in. Subban checking over his shoulder. Garnet Hathaway had this one bounce over his blade. The Caps have to get reorganized at center. Ryan Graves stalked there by Hathaway. Get a low angle look at the fray in the corner. Dowd emerging with the puck for DC in red. They continue to jam for it. Jensen's wrister shoved aside by Blackwood. Bastian didn't get it out. Hagelin turns. Wrapped up there by a couple of Devil defenders. Student H was crushed by Dowd on the clear. McLeod working in. Off the head fake, he'll fire. That's armed away.
Here they go at center ice. Dowd getting it by. Yep. Dowd and Subban. Dowd was on a mission that shift, trying to get involved, trying to change the complexion of this hockey game in his team's favor. Unlucky for him, his helmet is taking part of his nose there and pushing it across his face. Got tangled up with Subban. We should have 4-on-4 or better when we come back.
Linesman Marquis and Garlitz get in there to separate. We'll get you back for more in the second in a 3-1 game. Heads up. The Hyundai dealers, the longer you look, the more there is to like. This is the skirmish between those two vets.
It started with the big hit on Studenique, then coming across is Subban, takes the hit from Dowd going to the bench, and then they break and go after each other. Sort of surprised Subban got the extra 2, but he does, and the Caps will take it to try to get into this hockey game on their power play.
The lone goal in the second period, compliments of Nico Hischier for the Devils, making it a 3-1 advantage. Jesper Bratt boxed in as well to serve the additional minor that was given to PK. Caps go on the power play. Evgeny Kuznetsov will take the draw. He's be looking for Ovechkin pretty soon. These power play numbers all powered by Hydro. Washington at home this season, 17.5% effective. And they get control of the draw. Minus Backstrom and Oshie today are the Caps working on this 5-on-4 advantage. Kuznetsov plays it up top, little two-man game with Karlsson. They have the alignment set up now. Wilson is hovering in front of the goal, guarded by Blackwood. Karlsson fires, deflected wide. Siegenthaler didn't get it out. Karlsson steps right on in, feeds, Ovechkin fires, that's blocked there as Hischier was in front. Kuznetsov settles. Power play, another 125. Kuznetsov force-feeding Wilson. Kuznetsov seams for Ovechkin off the outside of the goal.
That was a good setup, very good, because it opened up Alex Ovechkin on the far side.
So rarely can they go half wall to the grade 8, but that time they did, and it just missed by a whisker. Back comes McLeod, shorthanded, he'll fire, shrugged away by Samsonov.
That was a good shot there, by McLeod, trying to strike shorthanded.
Washington a man up for another 55 ticks. Wilson rumbling back behind the cage with Severson. Graves takes over, failed to clear. John Karlsson at point position, he'll walk the line. Table set for Kuznetsov. Evgeny Kuznetsov peering through the defense. Tried the front door look for Sherry, deflected back. Ovechkin able to keep that in, according to the linesman.
That was very, very close.
Wilson leaves. Ovechkin finds down low. Kuznetsov hesitates. Sets it for Karlsson. A rocket that's denied by Blackwood. The rebound back to center.
That was a real good stop by Blackwood. Didn't have much traffic there, but made sure he got the blocker on that slapper.
Poking off the head fake. Graves looking for one more. That deflected in there as Samsonov had to be alert with the pads. Bratt up at the penalty box door. 6 seconds left in the Washington man advantage. Orlov takes the relay from Sprong. Bracketed along the wall. Zacha comes out of there with a biscuit. Devils are back to full strength. 6:15 to go in the second, leading by 2. Siegenthaler wrapped up with Sprong. White jersey Devils have it. Long snapshot. No worries for Samsonov. He has it in the webbing of his glove.
Couple of power play looks. Alex Ovechkin the best chance on this power play in the second period. There's the puck movement, rink-wide pass, and there's the slapper, and right off the side of the net. Looked like Blackwood had a pretty good push coming across. Had a lot of the net covered for Alex Ovechkin, which hits the side of the net. Does not count as a shot for Alex. Here's the chance by McLeod. Cuffed away with the left shoulder of Samsonov.
Alex Ovechkin, who would have scored goal number 700 against Mackenzie Blackwood at Prudential Center. Smith feeds it up top. Long snapshot, flagged down by Samsonov again. With 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go in period 2. We have some room to pay some bills. Get you back on the other side. on the road on enemy ice and leading by 2, getting late in the second period. Today's VW game notes, they put some detail on the Capitals' depth.
Yeah, most players with a point. The Caps at the top. 31 different players so far this season have points. The Habs have 30. The Blues at 29. The Knights and Sharks also utilizing a full cast of characters this season.
Capitals entering play today with a mark of 26-7. Of those 20 wins, 10 at home, 10 on the road. After their triumph at Little Caesars Arena back on Friday. Samsonov peeking to his right. Capitals get the draw and Kempny clears to center. Just a little bit less than 6 minutes to play in the second period. Smith on the go for the Devils. That Hughes pass was deflected. Hagelin entering the zone, skipping one on its bumpy way to Blackwood. He has the glove ready.
And definitely bumpy, that's for sure. He was able to gobble it up with the big catching mitt. There's Mackenzie Blackwood. 18th start here today against the Caps. Comes in with 7 wins, 3.24. He started off the season very fast, 4-1-2, had a .922 save percentage. Since then, his numbers have gone south, and he's played well this afternoon, though.
Devils had that spell before the pause of December 21st. They had lost 6 straight. They've looked much better since resuming NHL activities. Despite playing without their head coach Lindy Ruff today. Washington on a rewind through center. Scarbosa slipping one into the corner. McMichael there. Devils retracing their steps. Studenic did not find it from his glove. Leeson carries in. Leeson avoids the hip check of Graves. On the boards for Van Riemsdyk. Kept at point position by McMichael. A slap pass. Schultz keeps it on the perimeter. Severson's going to interrupt for the Devils and clear. Scarbosa to turn back behind Ilya Samsonov, who's in cage today, backed up by Phoenix Copley. The exorcist is not in the lineup for Washington. The exorcist being Vitek Vanacek, who's 5-0 career against the Devils. Vitek just coming back off of the COVID-19 protocol list. Janssen tracked down by Wilson. John Carlson, who has the Washington goal today. A beautiful snapshot high glove on Blackwood late in the first period. At point position, Orlov for Ovechkin. Ovechkin, who has riddled the Devils. 10 tallies in his last 11 games against them. Kuznetsov keeps it on the boards for Orlov with just less than 4 to go in the second.
And it looks like he's going to have to do it again today for the Caps to get any life here. Ovi, Kuznetsov in the top trio is going to have to connect, I would think.
On the ice now, Laviolette's big line. Kempny waits, then fires, had it blocked. Jensen maneuvers on the outside. Pinched there by Jesper Boqvist. Siegenthaler around for Severson. Mauled by Jensen. Centering pass came all the way through. Jesper Boqvist sprinting back through center.
He sure is hurting heading to the bench. That's his second great block.
Big rebound there, and Zacha was denied by Samsonov from point-blank range. Splitting the gap through center comes Sherry. Nice moves by Sprong. Sprong closing in, fires, that floated wide. Backhand Chanceller, no sail. Zacha lets it come through. Hughes will carry it through center. Jack Hughes decelerates, looks for Smith. Hughes waiting again. Top side it comes, Graves. Below the goal line, Smith well up on the play. Defender leaves it back behind the net. Yegor Sharangovich drags it loose. Hughes going to lose that battle to Sherry. 2-on-3 the other way for Washington, as Sherry will clear in.
Good numbers back defensively. The third man high for the Devils did a nice job staying in the lane to help out defensively.
Sharangovich goes wing to wing. Smith plays it ahead. Kokanen will, or rather Hughes will stash it into the corner and race to the bench for the line change. Sprong measured by Siegenthaler. Severson takes over. 2:20 separating us from Integrate Intermission Live. On the go on the attack. McLeod getting wide. Turns the cage. Matched up there with Dowd, who made the defensive stop. 4 in the scrum along the boards. Comes away for Studenic. He tried to wrap it, lost the handle. They drag to the backboards for Bastian. Dowd from his knees able to play it out. At point position, Siegenthaler's going to have to bring everybody back out to neutral with him.
And their fourth line, much like the Capitals' fourth line, Studenic, McLeod, and Bastian does the same type of job that the Dowd trio does for the Caps.
John Carlson hammers one wide of the goal. 90 seconds left in the period. Long clearing effort. Janssen swats it in. Samsonov, who has made 21 stops today. His team trailing by 2. Carlson walks it back through center. He'll dump it in. Graves put a pitchfork there into the midsection of Wilson. As Schultz comes over to claim it. Justin Schultz straight up the gut for Washington. Kuznetsov steers it in. Blackwood handling the goalie stick. Lifts a backhand along the boards in the McNugget minute of the second. This is Zacha. As Ovechkin winds up in the bench, but didn't mean to go there on purpose.
They woke up the big man because on his way to the bench in the last part of this, or the start of this shift, he was run over by Severson, and he was talking big time to their bench, and that's why he's mad and upset right now.
35 seconds left in the period. Washington's lone tally today came in the McNugget minute of the first.
And we've seen a hit from Ovechkin spark the team.
Kempny broke his stick on a one-time chance there. 20 seconds left. Zacha clears. Hammered by Eller in the process.
Unlucky there. That was a beautiful pass to Kempny.
13 seconds to go in this frame. Sherry strong on it at center. Sprong getting behind the defense. 4 seconds left. Sherry from the angle fires, stopped by Blackwood, and that'll do it for 2 periods in Washington.
Getting feisty at the end of that period. The Caps came out. It was 2-1. They had a little momentum with a late goal in the first, but then they struck early. And Ovi and the boys can't counter Blackwood. They've got to get some rebounds against him and second chances to get back in this game.
20 minutes to go in regulation. Hischier and the Devils on top by 2. New Jersey and Washington won't see each other again till they're back here in late March. For the moment, we enjoy this one. 3-1 in favor for the Devils. Getting you set for Integrate Intermission Live. To the studio, Alexa and Alan. Team One Vision. Inside of Capital One Arena today, Devils have a 3-1 lead. They've been just a step quicker than the Caps all afternoon long. And Locker, a few moments ago, that got the blood boiling for Alex Ovechkin.
Well, never wake up or make the GOAT mad. You will pay for it one way or another. Here it is coming off the bench. Severson in a line change decks him, and this is what he does the rest of the shift. Poor Boquist just about got run over. Ovi goes lateral, trying to get his team going here at the end of that second period. We'll see if that carries over from the Capitals captain.
First 20 minutes of the game, 2-1 Devils. Sharon Govich and Severson outscoring John Carlson and the Caps. In the second period, Nico Hischier, 22 seconds into the frame on a tip-in, made it 3-1. That's where we are right now this Sunday afternoon in D.C. with the Capitals and Devils. Washington tied for first in the Metro Division. New Jersey's in 7th in that bracket. Devils out shooting the Caps through 2, 24-18. Whole bunch of matinees being played around the NHL this Sunday. One of them including Pittsburgh. 8-5 victors over San Jose. Rodriguez and Rust each with hat tricks in that game for the Pens.
Definitely playing some of their best hockey and getting healthier, the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's a good first shift. A couple of big hits. Hathaway, Hagelin, and Dowd. Dowd trying to lower the boom on a couple of guys in the second period. Very feisty. Hagelin a chance to get back in the game on a short-handed pinpoint give and go with Dowder. They've had a good afternoon.
It was one of Blackwood's best saves on the day. Speaking of hat tricks, Mika Zibanejad for the Rangers. He had 3. Igor Shesterkin shutting out Tampa earlier on the day.
That team is coming along just fine, aren't they, the Rangers?
Oh, yes. Washington facing New York just on opening night so far. Carlson towards the cage off of Bastion and a ricochet back. Washington meets the Devils 3 times, meets the Rangers 3 times of their interdivisional games this season. Caps began the day on top of the Metro, tied with the Carolina Hurricanes at 47 points. The Devils at 29. Kuznetsov breezing back through center. Throws a little stiff arm out there. Ovechkin comes cross rink. That's picked.
And you see some shuffling of the lines to start this third period. Sprong moved up in Wilson's spot with Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. So there'll be some line juggling, looking for a spark offensively 5-on-5.
Beautiful moves there from Jesper Bratt, but he lost the handle on the crossover. Back comes Sherry 3-on-3. Eller settles, tried to scoop it to the front. Good back check by Sharon Govich as he'll send it all the way down right to Ilya Samsonov.
And he was trying to scoop it in front to Tom Wilson, playing with Eller now and Connor Sherry.
This will get past Wilson to center. Just shy of the 2-minute mark in the third. Kuokkanen one-on-one. Fires a pad save for Samsonov. Mark him down for 22 in the game. Eller on the go will clear in. Lars Eller returning to NHL duty today. He missed the Detroit game. No Nicholas Backstrom, no TJ Oshie this afternoon. Janssen getting wide, sends it on around. The Capitals getting a host of players back off the COVID-19 protocol list. On the back end for the most part, when you consider the return of Jensen and Schultz. Lars Eller working through center. Gave it up in neutral. Dawson Mercer has room to operate. Mercer fires, glove save. Samsonov.
Third time in this hockey game, the Caps caught in that line change, and that leads to the quick up. The Devils have been very good this afternoon in that aspect of their game, going from defense to offense, and Mercer a good shot here to start the third period.
Dawson Mercer, who picked up a helper on the Severson goal back in the opening period for the Devils. They have the 2-goal advantage. Hischier set to draw for New Jersey against Nick Dowd of Washington. Dowd had a tough time in Detroit at the faceoff dot. Dylan Larkin was 13-1 back on Friday. As we share time here with Al Koken.
Well, Joe, if the Capitals are to make a comeback, you know, they need to put a little more pressure on this New Jersey Devil defense that so far has not been regular shifting Dougie Hamilton. I haven't seen him since the first period when he got hit in the face with a puck. Did not play in the second. Hasn't been out here. No official word yet for the New Jersey Devils, but down to 5 guys. That means the Capitals need a little more pressure on the remaining New Jersey Blue Liners. Good
pickup by Al there as Subban's drive is armed out of play. Dougie Hamilton, the Devils' 3rd leading scorer. That's head coach for the day, Elaine Nasreddine.
Yeah, and Hamilton only played after this shot. Only played 240 of this hockey game. There he is, right off the chin there. The shot from Schultz ramps up, and Hamilton has not played since.
Dougie had a couple of assists in the OT win over Edmonton back on Friday afternoon. As Garnett Hathaway scampers through center, he'll clear in. Mackenzie Blackwood sends it on around. Blackwood backed up today by Akira Schmid. Schmid on recall from the American Hockey League Utica squad, which is fantastic, by the way. 18-1-3 are they in the AHL North.
That's impressive.
Hischier on the go. Pedals wide, works for Sharon Govich, or rather for Zaka, and this is offside. Earlier today, we asked you some PedFed trivia. It had to do with that man, Elaine Nasreddine, who scored 1 NHL goal. We asked you who assisted on that tally way back in 2006.
I'm going with Mark Recchi right there on the right side of him on the TV there. That's one guy.
And 87.
There you go.
I was trying to help with Gonchar and Orpik. I thought maybe, but no. To the front here, looking for Kuznetsov. It went on by. Through center, Siegenthaler finds Bratt. John Carlson getting away from Sharangovich. Bratt on the centering pass. Too hot to handle there for Hughes. Sprong through center, just out of his reach. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the third. Still 3-1 for the Devils, who have a date with Boston on Tuesday at TD Garden. Washington's Tuesday night tussle north of the border postponed with Montreal, so the Caps will have a few days to get set for St. Louis on Friday. The Blues, who were very convincing in the Winter Classic last night.
Yeah, it helps when you get, what was it, 5 goals in the second period?
Jordan Kyrou figured in on 4 of those.
Well, I think the time off will play well for the Caps, getting everybody back into the lineup, we hope, and some good days of practice looking ahead.
On the move through center, McLeod, full blast, getting to the interior there against Kempny. Bastian is helping out back behind Samsonov. Two teams are 5-on-5, 4.5 into the third as Wilson exits the zone, left it there to nobody in particular. Bastian gets out wide, erased by Jensen. Michael Kempny for DC. Veteran blue liner, spent most of the year the American Hockey League level with the Hershey Bears. Scarbosa clears it in. Severson starts the breakout for the Devils with Smith. Smith angling through center, skips it wide. Big carom right to the high slot area. Taken to safety by Dowd. On for Hathaway, then Hagelin. Hagelin hits the brakes and fires. A blocker save for Blackwood. Centering pass here, bang, bang! Blackwood, a wonderful save on Hathaway.
And Hathaway unhappy because at the end of the play, he was clipped up high with the stick of the defender. And that's why he's trying to draw a minor penalty, showing the referee, hey, I got clipped up high. But what a stop that was on, you nailed it, Joe B, the bang, bang play. I mean, it doesn't get any quicker than this, moving the puck. Great job by the Caps. There's the shot, an even better stop. And there you see that stick coming into the defender on Hathaway. He did not like that one bit from the defenseman Ty Smith.
NHL goalies practice it 1,000 times a day from post on that angle to get out on top, and practice made perfect there for Blackwood, who has been really good when called upon. Turned 25 last month, didn't play in the first meeting between these two, a Washington win back at Prudential Center October 21st. Has had little to no luck against Washington in his career. 1-7-1. Heeshear one-on-one against Schultz. Heeshear on the delay, tries to tiptoe in. Follow-up chance, stop. Rebound! Heeshear was tied up long enough. Subban fires. Kick out, saved by Samsonov. The rebound sends away Ovechkin 3-on-3. Ovechkin fakes, feeds to the interior. Didn't hook up with Sprong. Back come the Devils. Jesper Boquist. Siegenthaler the trailer, front doors that one, a pad save for Samsonov. Back comes Sprong through center, out wide to the grade 8. Turning on Hughes, fires! Blackwood just hugging the post in time.
Yeah, he's just about got burned there with the speed of Ovi going wide. Pretty good job keeping him outside the dots to not give him a good angle to the net.
6 minutes down in this third period. Caps still trailing by 2. Orlov, pressure comes. Hughes has it for New Jersey. Jack Hughes sneaking away from Kuznetsov. Both teams in the middle of personnel changes. This indirect is too strong for Sharangovich, icing against the Devils.
Well, he's sure an opportunity for the Devils to give them a 4-1 lead. He's a fancy Dan, gets Schultz spun around. If that puck goes between the skates, it's a highlight reel opportunity. He's got such a knack inside, and then he's trying to come back through and go out the other side. Fortunately for the Caps, Schultz had hit his skate. But the captain has had a strong game today, this afternoon. He's blocked a couple of shots. He has a tip-in goal. He's leading by example for the Devils.
A New Jersey team that's allowed the most goals of any squad in the Metro Division. They've only given high-powered Washington 1 so far today via John Carlson back in the first. Sharangovich blazing a pass through center with Hughes. Nothing there according to Orlov. 5-on-5 as we approach the 7-minute mark of this final frame. Sherry, points in 5 of his last 7. Eller didn't get that deep. Severson wouldn't allow it. As Al Koken pointed out, the Devils are playing with just 5D as they put the puck off of the rink. A chance for us to take a TV timeout. Get you back downtown in just a few moments. Enjoying a late Saturday or a Sunday afternoon in DC. 2 in the third as today's Verizon ISOCAM comes your way. Alex Ovechkin's last opportunity.
Against Hughes, the center iceman. There he is, angling him wide. Notice outside the dot, sharp angle. Blackwood just stays with it enough. Ovi's second shot of the game this afternoon. 158th shot of the season, which leads everybody in the NHL.
It's amazing how quickly he's opened up a healthy lead. We're talking about he leads the league in shots by 30 plus. Does the grade 8. Ovechkin tried to funnel that to Kuznetsov. It was picked. Mercer fires. Stop there, Samsonov, and he'll melt it.
They're very good at pickpocketing you because of the back pressure, especially today. And that leads to another opportunity for Sammy to make sure he gobbles it up. Mercer's had a very good game. I mean, he's all over the puck. They really like him in the 3-hole. He's really turned his game around. 18th pick in 2020. He's having a terrific freshman year.
20-year-old had a goal and an assist performance against Edmonton on Friday. You see the face-off story top of the screen. New Jersey a slim lead in that regard. Dowd lost it there. Severson fires. That's high on the shoulder. Blocker side. Mercer arm in arm with Jensen. Dowd to the rescue for Washington. Nick Jensen on the go. Jensen tried to get to the interior. Siegenthaler would not allow it. Mercer back the other way, gave it up to Kempny. 5-on-5 play continues, 7.5 minutes into this third. Loose puck belongs to Dowd of Washington. Kempny at point position, lets it go, blocked by Kuokkanen. Still in a log jam along the boards. Who's going to come out of there with the puck? It will be Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk offers to Kempny. He'll glide through center. Hagelin backtracking. Kuznetsov building up ahead of steam. Yevgeny Kuznetsov through center. Skips it on Cage. Graves is there to help. On the woodwork for a moment. Van Riemsdyk fires. That's blocked. Subban keeping an eye on Ovechkin. Graves has it off the wall and out.
Another new winger for Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. This time out, it's Connor Sherry.
Kuznetsov right up the gut, fires, shrugged away. Blackwood didn't follow the rebound well. Help comes from Subban. Hughes on the hop for the Devils. Tape to tape for Sharangovich. He'll roll it back behind the Washington goal. Kept along the boards and cleared. Lars Eller doing the work. Hughes getting fancy against Van Riemsdyk, 3-on-3. Orlov shading towards Siegenthaler. Boquist measured by Van Riemsdyk. Smith walks the line, skips it towards the cage. That hit the cross traffic. It's sent out but not cleared. Boquist fires, huge stop there by Samsonov. Still not out. Zacha looking cross rink. That was thieved by Orlov. Back he comes. Dmitry Orlov caught there as Zacha was doubling back quickly to cover up. This one will leave the playing surface for a whistle.
Too many giveaways by the Washington Capitals in their own zone, and that's how Boquist feels, looking for his first goal of the season. Wide open off the pass from Hughes, and he can't put it blocker's side. It probably lights out for the Caps today if he puts that one in. Timely saves are critical. Sammy comes up one big with 10:35 to go, right off the waffle mitt and the blocker of the goaltender.
He had 19 at Little Caesars Arena a couple nights ago. 10 better than that already today. Ilya Samsonov.
That surprises me because the Caps in the last 10 games or so have been very stingy, giving up shots. The Devils have already created 32 against him.
On average, the Caps surrender only 28 a game. That's second lowest in the league. Thanks to our friends at Sport Radar for pointing that out. Scarbosa arm in arm with Graves to the backboards. Almost halfway through the third. New Jersey clings to the 3-1 advantage. All the way down, Carlson turned the other way, and yet still the linesmen are going to say icing.
Yeah, Severson tries to thread the needle. 5 of his last 7, much like John Carlson, 25+ minutes. 2 workhorses. Carlson for the Caps, Severson for the Devils once again today.
Folks, you see bottom of the screen, Burke and Herbert Bank once again donating $100 for every Caps goal scored this season to Grand Involve in Fairfax, Virginia. They do such wonderful work with the kids in school. Face-off win, set piece, Blackwood. A marvelous stop there. Ovechkin had one around his ear.
He's been shrugging a lot of shots. The Capitals, I guess the scouting report has put it upstairs. They've hit him a lot in either shoulder, and he's shrugging them off and then can't find the rebound. This time he does. There he is, the shrug. A good stop. One of the clean wins for the Caps on a face-off offensively. Gets a piece of that catching mitt and the shoulder from the Capitals captain, trying to make it a 1-goal game.
We've mentioned on more than one occasion the Caps were 8-0 against Jersey last season. Ovechkin scored 6 times against the Devils in that set. 9 straight wins for Washington against New Jersey, 6 of them though by 1-goal decisions. They don't come easy. The Devils have been a difficult opponent today. New Jersey winners of 2 straight as they came to town. Janssen one-on-one. Janssen settles and fires. That's off of Samsonov and out of play. Devils are getting so many opportunities to lengthen the lead. That man behind the mask will not allow it. Comes with a limited edition commemorative challenge coin. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. Visit washcaps.com/special groups for more information. Should be a fun night. Capitals trying to rally this day against the Devils. 9:40 left in the third period. 2 teams that won't see each other again until March. That game coming in this very building. This will be all the way down, icing against the Capitals.
And Hathaway, none too pleased. He took the glove of Subban right to the chops. No call was made, but definitely giving it to Subban as he comes back for the face-off. He's been active. Last game for Subban, he hardly played. He only played about 15 minutes, the low of the season, and there's the right front jab right under the chin of Hathaway that he took exception to.
PK had his own dealings on the COVID protocol list, came back the day after Christmas. Yegor Sharangovich with a stop up, looking cross rink for Hughes. Marked there by Dowd on the backtrack. Quick pickpocket, Sharangovich for Subban. Rotate to Smith. Play it off the end boards on purpose. Hughes scampers to the dasher and lets this one fly. Taking a skating stride there from Ulf Dahlin in the pass, right?
Yeah, I sure did.
Hagelin winds and drives, deflected wide of Blackwood, who's been one of the heroes today for New Jersey. Sharangovich all alone, skipped it to center.
Now, no team has allowed more rebound goals than the Devils. The Capitals haven't been able to generate rebound chances going to the paint. I mean, they've been cleared out by the D, and they just haven't got there in time if they have had those second chances.
Sherry with speed through center. Double team there on the back check. Heeshear sends it to Boquist. Boquist working laterally, ran right into the shoulder of Lars Eller. As Wilson will storm the Devils back through center on the little give-and-go interchange. Nothing there for Tom. Orlov back to get it, no icing, with just about 8 minutes to go in regulation. Orlov through center. Carlson continues the thrust. Kuznetsov's wrister, that got up quickly there.
Siegenthaler. Looked like Siegenthaler, right?
It did. He got hit either by the puck or the stick.
Sure looked like the puck ramped up and caught him in the side of the face. If not, the stick might have caught him, as you mentioned, Joe, but there would be no penalty because it's a shot attempt, and the stick riding up a defenseman's stick or a player's stick will not deem to be a penalty. Here it is, kicked wide. Here comes the shot, and that definitely ramps up. It's a Kuznetsov shot, ramps up off stick on puck. That's what everybody teaches now, and this is what can happen. But Siegenthaler hitting the side of the face. Good job by the officials immediately blowing the whistle.
Devils already one defender down, missing Dougie Hamilton, who is hit by a deflected puck in the face early in this contest. Caps need 2 to tie. Kuznetsov, Sprong, Ovechkin out there now as Subban gets repositioned around the face-off dot and circle. Hischier ties up Kuznetsov, and that stalemate, McLeod clears. We're 5-on-5 with 7:45 to go in the third. As John Carlson maneuvers back through center, it's Carlson who has the lone goal to this point for Washington. Kuznetsov winding it up. Fans putting their hands together, trying to inspire the troops in red. Devils have other ideas, stacking things up at their defensive blue line. Bastian will clear. Sprong rolls it on around. Orlov in a board battle there with Studenic. Carlson ladles it back onto the Devils side, pawed at by PK Subban. And we get a whistle on the entry.
Yeah, Alex Ovechkin got caught inside the zone. They've really been stalling the Caps very well between the center line and the blue line. The Caps can't get going. They can't get any type of traction offensively this afternoon. Give credit to the Devils. Give it where it is due. They have played a very good game and had a good game plan coming into this one.
Tampa Bay and Philadelphia, the only 2 teams to hold Washington to 1 goal in a single game this season. New Jersey has the Caps stuck on 1 right now. Dowd to draw against Mercer. Schultz back to get it for Washington. 31-year-old British Columbia native on the go through center. Dowd finds Van Riemsdyk, who managed to get in there onside. All the way through for Hagelin. Top side is going to get away from Hathaway. Chasing Schultz back into his own end. Time ticking rapidly now against the Caps. 6:44 to go. Hathaway to the front, block, rebounds loose. Dowd, score! Nick Dowd!
Exactly what the doctor ordered. The grind line out there for the Caps, and the fans loving it. We've got ourselves a game now. It looked like the Devils were in total control. Just about looked like a double whack at the puck by Nick Dowd. Hathaway throws it at the net, hits the defenseman Graves, and there's the double tap. Backhand, forehand, and he hits it right out of midair. That is a wonderful goal and display of stick-to-itiveness. Sticking with the puck is Dowd. The Selly, yeah, he deserves that, Selly. There it is out of midair. Backhand, forehand out of midair to beat Blackwood. It's 3-2.
Suddenly a whole lot more interesting now for Capitals fans inside of Capital One Arena. All 5 goals for Dowd this season at even strength. Just the 2nd time ever he has scored against the Devils in 19 games worth of work. It's a 1-goal affair. And the Caps with momentum. Sherry closing in. Fires right to the gut of Blackwood.
Let's take one more look at the goal that makes this a 1-goal game for Tom Wilson and his mates. Here's Dowd, backhand, forehand. That's highlight reel material there for Dowder, and the celebration shows you. And you see Subban and Dowd after the shot to the net. They've been going at it all night long. And there's the shot, the push, the punch. They've been going at it toe-to-toe, and that's just the end of that play. What a play by Dowd. 7 points in his last 10 games for Nick.
Still plenty of time for Washington. Better than 6 minutes with which to work in the third.
I want to see him do that again. I'm going to ask him about that. Can he do that? That was quite the play to get that puck in the net.
John Carlson sends it eye high. Blackwood's not going to take any chances.
And we'll see how the difference between a veteran team and a youthful team now happens. Are the Devils going to sit back and go into a defensive posture? Are they going to play high-octane offense, which they have done all afternoon? If they sit back, Karlsson, Dowd, and his mates, I think will tie this game up and may end up winning it. If they stay with their foot on the pedal, we're going to have a real good ending to this game.
Capitals 6-2 against Metro Division mates. New Jersey 4-4-2 against that bracket. Orlov put a neat little head fake on there, but lost the puck against Boquist. Heeshear driving wide. Boquist fanned on the one-timer. Capitals looking for the odd man rush the other way. Siegenthaler getting in the lane on Wilson. Tapped it back to center.
So no worse for wear as Siegenthaler right back out there after taking the puck to the face off the Kuzi shot.
Orlov's pass to the front door taken by Studenic. He'll use the boards to get it out. McLeod getting wide there on Karlsson, who gave him a bump to knock him into the ditch.
That was a real nice play by Karlsson because I thought McLeod had a step on him.
Ryan Graves skims it below the goal line. Karlsson plays on to Scarbosa. And away comes Washington with Wilson through center. Only as far as McLeod and Studenic and Graves. 5:15 to go. McLeod posted up at the half board. Graves going to feel the forecheck from Ovechkin. Turnover here. Sprong's pass, vacant wing. Subban through center. PK at the attacking line. Waits, sends it to the goal. Gloved by Samsonov, and he'll hang on. As we step away, we'll bring you back for an exciting final 4:55 of the third. Dowd and the Caps on the comeback trail. Alexa, thank you. We'll look forward to your post-game thoughts. Post-game live presented by your DC area Acura dealers. Sharon Govich able to clear it through center. If Alexa asks nicely enough, Locker will join her for some post-game thoughts as well. As the Capitals are trying to rally back. They have trimmed the deficit to 1, 4.5 to go in the third period in front of a much more lively Capital One Arena group. Schultz, good speed there to get ahead of Sharon Govich.
Yeah, Sharon Govich was trying to be pretty fancy there, wanted to chip the puck around him. Schultz wouldn't have any of that.
Big hit at the attacking line. Sprong cleaned out by Subban. Orlov sends it on. Sherry for Sprong, who bounced right back up. And this will be funneled back to center. Shade less than 4 minutes with which to work. Dowd a few moments ago from Hathaway and Van Riemsdyk. Look out! Eller feeds! Score! Blackwood blew it. Washington ties it at 3.
A crazy bouncing dump in. Blackwood makes a poor decision, doesn't see anybody coming, whiffs on it, wanted to give that to the defenseman. There's the bouncing biscuit. He's looking to the side, and there he mishandles the puck. And it's a layup for the Caps. Eller finds Connor Sherry. It's a wide, empty net. A little breakdown by Blackwood, his first of the day. A chink in the armor, and the Caps have tied it up.
Connor Sherry's 8th of the season. Lars Eller on the primary assist. The man who set it up wears the masks for New Jersey. 3-3 with 3:47 to go. And out of nowhere, the Capitals get a gift. This first game of calendar year 2022. A good one down the stretch for the Devils. Brand new at 3 apiece. Kuznetsov through center. On the wing, Ovechkin let it come through for Kempny. He'll place it into the corner.
They got to get some more pressure on Blackwood. We'll see how he's feeling now. I mean, that's going to sit not too well in his stomach. We'll see if he can recover from that. After that goal went in, several Devils came over and gave him a pat on the pad to maybe give him some confidence, but that's going to stay with you a bit.
At a whole different time, both Blackwood and Samsonov have made saves today that have been miraculous to keep the score where it is. As Blackwood's gaff there helps Washington tie things up. 3-all. Sprong on a bouncing biscuit, battling with Bastion, and away come the Devils down the flank. From the angle, that centering pass came right on through. As Samsonov scurries back to position. Sprong outlets for Sherry. Sherry closing, fires! Shrugged at there by Blackwood with 2.5 to go.
That was an excellent pass. You nailed it, Joe. Sprong, rink wide, found him in the seam behind the D.
Graves for the Devils. On for Hughes, further still for Bratt. As Samsonov now tries to chunk that one to the corner. He has to have the glove ready to cover.
Yeah, he didn't get that away cleanly either against Hughes in their attack. Great pass by Sprong to spring Connor Sherry, who's tied it up. Here's Spronger. Look at how far that pass goes, and right on the money. You catch a player in stride, you're going to get a step on the D. He does. Subban caught outside. Graves comes over, but still a good look by Connor Sherry.
Washington Capitals shot counter up to 30 now. 27 saves for Blackwood. Caps in possession of the puck through center. Hagelin racing after Severson. Severson put a good little lift check on there. Didn't get it out. Severson still tangled up with Hagelin. 2 minutes to go, regulation time. Van Riemsdyk drifting away. Off the boards to Hagelin on a cross corner dump in.
The Blackwood chant comes out here at Capital One.
Trying to get inside the head under the mask of the Devils netminder. Carlson leaves the biscuit there for Orlov. Full speed through center. Dmitry Orlov getting wide. Orlov will funnel this back behind the goal. All the way, he'll take it there. Ovechkin locks up along the boards with Hischier. It's on the lip of the dasher for a moment. Boquist clears. 80 seconds left. Carlson up ice for Orlov. Hits the brakes. Looking on the backboards there for Wilson. Arm bar comes out from Graves. Student H didn't get it clear. Ovechkin, sharp angle right on through. Top side, Van Riemsdyk. Rister fanned on it. Devils through center in the McNugget minute of regulation time. Van Riemsdyk golfing at it. Schultz has to double back. Schultz off the wall and out with 47 seconds to go. Siegenthaler pumps it in from center. Samsonov, whoa, around the boards.
That was a good fake, buddy.
Well done. I meant to do that.
Yeah.
McLeod on the go. Devils in the midst of a line change. 28 seconds left. Hathaway stalled at center by Kokkonen. Played on for Hagelin. 2-on-1 developing with Dowd. Great pass. It skipped past Nick Dowd.
That was an ugly line change by the Devils, and it didn't cost them, and it should have.
10 seconds left. Orlov bumps it inside Hathaway. His backhand will trundle to the corner. 5 seconds to go. Janssen pinched along the boards by Carlson. This game requires overtime. The Capitals with 2 in the third to tie it. The Devils in town. Samsonov and Blackwood on the hot seat. 3-on-3 sudden victory overtime will settle matters between these two Metro Division rivals.
Yep, Dmitry throws it right up the middle. It bounces like crazy. Blackwood thinks he's got an easy outlet to the defenseman. Instead, a big gaff, and all of a sudden the Caps have life. Eller steals it, and Connor Sherry has the open net. That play by the goaltender. The Caps will take it and get a point at least.
Sherry, 8 goals now, 3 of them game winners. That's the game tying tally. 3-all to the extra session we go. Each team has earned a point in the standings today. It'll be 3-on-3 sudden victory to settle it. As is often the case between the Caps and Devils, this will be a one-goal decision. Blackwood getting his focus back. Alain Nasreddine filling in for head coach Lindy Ruff. Not available today due to COVID protocol. Peter Laviolette's squad struggling in overtime this season.
They sure have. Won 2 games in a shootout, but have not scored a goal 9 times going to overtime.
Dowd, Wilson, Carlson, 3 out there in red. Severson, Hischier, Bratt for the Devils. A Jersey team, 4-5 when it comes to overtime overall. Washington gets possession as Carlson is stalked by Bratt behind the net.
And that's how to win a draw. Talk about putting everything into winning the puck battle. That was Dowd immediately to the bench for Kuznetsov.
5th time this season the Caps have forced an overtime when trailing after 2. They were down 3-1 today. Wilson finds Carlson. Carlson opened up there for a second. Wilson back. It'll come to center ice. Kuznetsov retreats. Yevgeny Kuznetsov powering his way into the zone. Overlapping with Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin, 24 overtime game winners in his career in the regular season. Icing against the Caps.
Yeah, the Devils were going to change. The Caps were caught in between. And the faceoff will come into the Capitals zone. And the Devils will try to set up a play right off the draw.
As anticipated, Hughes comes out. Hughes does not win very many faceoffs. On the season, he's just 28% effective. Turn him loose here at the offensive end. Kuznetsov for Washington, 44% on his season. Washington gets the draw. Orlov shaking loose from Sharangovich. He's a thief. Really quick stick on the takeaway.
Sure is. And he's a big guy that can really skate. He's totally turned his season around. Slow start, but man, is he playing his best hockey right now.
Yegor Sharangovich, 1 against 2. Fires, glove save. Samsonov covers.
Takes a shot from Eller. Takes a cross check from Ovechkin. Sharangovich trying to get that go-ahead goal. He's got a vicious shot. He can just let it fly. Very hard and heavy, and very little to get the release away. Notice he didn't have a huge backswing there, trying to get the goalie leaning, but Sammy does not.
Almost handcuffed the Capital netminder. Jersey shut counter up to 35. Washington at 30. 3-3 in overtime with the NHL on NBC Sports Washington. Linesman Marquis getting the 2 centers settled. Hughes and Dowd. Dowd wins it on his strong side. John Carlson ready to set sail. Samsonov having some fun with Hughes. Hughes chopping at a loose puck. Dowd sends it out wide for Schultz. Schultz racing ahead. 3-on-3 sudden victory time in overtime. Carlson kicking it loose. Severson pouncing on it for the Devils. Gets loose along the wall. Turnover. Eller's in. Eller missed it high.
That puck rolled on him. Unlucky there for Lars because great wall work by Connor Sherry working over the defenseman Severson, but then the puck got right up on end and no chance for Eller to keep that shot down.
Zacha winding it up through center. Just about halfway through the extra session. Whoops. Dawson Mercer back on it. Smith for Mercer with Zacha the trailer. Zacha fires. Good glove save. Snappy style by Samsonov.
Yep, there was no second guessing that shot. Sammy had it perfectly placed into his glove. Here's the turnover. Connor Sherry, nice little chip pass, but watch the puck start to roll on Eller. He was looking around. Then it got caught on end in his curve, and there was only one place for it to go, and that's high. There's the puck rolling, and there it is. Once it gets in the curve like that, you can't keep the puck down. Up and over the net it goes, not a shot on net.
Hughes. Backpedaling through center, it is Smith. Just past the halfway mark of overtime. Capitals with 2 goals in the third period to force the extra session. Hughes dangles through center.
2 centers out there for the Devils. Hughes and Hischier, their 2 top, 1-2 up the middle.
Hughes scampers wide, centering pass, cuffed down by Orlov. Hughes recovers. Hischier's next. He scores. Nico Hischier ends the day for the Devils.
The 10th time this year the Caps have not jumped on a team in overtime. And Samuel skate off, kept them in the game. Arguably this game could have been over in regulation in the Devils' favor in my books. The Caps will get a point out of it, but it's Hischier and Hughes working together, the 2 pivots as I mentioned. And it's a nice passing play in front of the net. There's Orlov, there's the pickpocket by Hughes. He makes a lucky pass, but it works wonders. Highly skilled and a no-look pass, and it burns the defenseman there. No chance for Orlov to get back, and that is as pinpoint accurate as you can possibly get to the blocker side of the netminder. One of the hardest shots to take and to finish, but Hischier does the job for the Devils today.
2 minutes, 56 seconds of overtime. New Jersey gets the victory. The bench erupts as the Devils have answered a Washington win in New Jersey back in October with this win today to start the calendar year 2022. Fans dejectedly filing their way to the exits inside of Capital One. Folks, it's time for us to cross over. It's presented by WebEx by Cisco.